Hello. I'm going to try to tell you about my stories with my voice recorder, because this is a process of getting through some feelings I have about communicating with the world at large and moving through a certain process of learning about who you all are. So I said, tell me what you think about these ideas, and can you imagine any other scenarios yourselves that you'd like to have happen with regard to happiness. And I understand that in an earlier post I was telling you that you all had to suffer to get through your to your dreams, and that's kind of funny because it's not much fun. But anyway, this is a process, and number one is the talk show that I have in mind. That is something I'd like to do, and I think would be beneficial to people who have similar experiences, and that's about my father and me having a good talk about what we experienced after he came back from the war. And the other idea is about the pundits, the ones from all the way from the left to the right, and talking about what it means to be honest about what's going on, and how to be compassionate and be able to communicate with one another in a way that makes for happiness to win. And the other idea was for Oprah Winfrey to be able to get my shirt, Happiness Wins. And I understand that she's had trouble with her weight, and I myself have overcome so much with regard to being addicted to food, having been a bulimic, what's called bulimic, when I was a teenager, that if she wanted to, that I would be happy to do that, and that would be beneficial to many people, to Oprah and to many other women and men as well. And I would have a Happiness Wins t-shirt for her that she could fit into, of a smaller size, if she was able to lose weight. That was another idea. And the other idea was for a flag, my Happiness Wins flag, to be on the tallest flagpole in the town that I live in, and that it could be an inspiration to people, a reminder as to how happiness really does win. It really is possible to find that in your heart. And the other idea is that this being a positive affirmation of life, ultimately, when one faces one's fears and overcomes, it is positive, and it is the true change. So it would be a perfect face, in my view, for a movement such as the Kony 2012, because that sounds like a campaign, and it's not the most positive thing, I think, to go after this person who himself was an invisible child. But happiness does win, and I think that is a good model. So I was expressing my own feelings about how nobody seems interested in any of these ideas, although who knows how many people are even reading them. I have no idea, though theoretically the whole world could see it. So here I am talking to myself and working my way through these feelings, if only for my own self, and I am learning about humanity through this process, and it is a reliving of a coming into the world like when I was just born, because I was alone when I was born, and so this is pretty wide open for me, and I'm exposing myself on a massive level, massively open level, and very vulnerable. So that's all I have to say. And as I said, it's like I'm all dressed up in a certain way and nowhere to go. But that's how it is when you're born, too. And babies get very disillusioned when they're born as to how the world responds after a while. The world just doesn't respond in a bubbly and peaceful and fearless manner. And eventually babies get tired. And this is the dynamic of life. Babies get tired. And children give and give until there's no more, as they take on the worries of the people around them because they just love so much and they want to help them. That is the nature of a child. And that is what I am going through right now. I feel everybody. I feel everything. And I'm trying to rise above. So that's what you're witnessing. And that's what I'm working through right now. So I can come through even stronger. It may sound crazy, but there's a method to the madness. And I love you all.